Hello and welcome to Donington Park for the 2017 British GT and British Formula 3 Championship finale. Now I should explain why you're currently looking at a parking lot. Back in April I celebrated my 18th birthday, and as a birthday present for my auntie and uncle, they decided to take me to Donington to experience an actual track day experience. This is going to be fantastic. All the commentaries I've ever done, and including the Formula E Championship, the building you're currently looking at now, has been in the studio back in Grimsby, commentating to a screen. I have been to Cadwell Park, but I've never been to an actual race meeting. So this is truly something spectacular. One of the Formula 3s, and they're coming right to us.
118 decibels.
That is loud, and they've just gone through to end the race. There they all are. Actually, they're going onto the grid. There it is. Yeah. Last turn.
So you can walk on the side, you see.
Yeah.
That's a really good place.
Yes, you can go there.
It's one you see.
They're on Pirellis as well. And it's going to be an interesting race. Is that the last one going out? There's one stalled in the pit lane. TV crew? Yeah, but I'm the one doing the things today. Interesting fan experience. I'm covering up the microphone. That's not a good experience, is it?
No.
So the BRDC Formula 3s are starting their race. And we're at I'm zooming in. We're at the last hairpin. There we go.
Really attractive.
Yeah. Mud. And I know who that is alongside in commentary. And that's the final. So that, I don't know if I'm still in the that's where Senna passed Prost at the hairpin.
Right. This is going to be a really good place.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of accident, I reckon, down there to tell them.
Last year, when he came through, finished third in the championship, and he set the fastest lap.
And up there's the commentary box.
Third place, he's got the chance of driving a Lamborghini and GTs out there, so that's looking ahead in his future career. Ben Hinchley's fourth on 407 points, Cameron Daff 399,
Trackside comms.
Carl O'Keefe on 364. The grid, then with the top 8 finishing.
Now make their way onto the
Back straight.
centre straight. There's Jeremy Wahome.
I'll be down into the hairpin.
Traction with slick tyres on wet grass, but he should be able to get back into the race with no damage to the car. The leaders come out of the S's and down towards the Melbourne hairpin.
Melbourne hairpin, there they come.
Kierkegaard in the lead. Great team leads the difficulty line. John Kane, who only joined in the championship halfway through this year,
Inside.
And probably won the reverse grade race, equivalent race at Stenson. So
That's not good. Oh, that's strange.
Who has second place at the moment.
Oh, hang on, he's back
on
on.
the grid as well. The South African driver then in second place, chasing Nikolai Kierkegaard in third place.
He must be the one who spun at the top of the hill.
Chase Owen, and he's got quite a lineup of cars behind him.
So eventually we got up the side of a very steep hill and looked towards the chicane area at the back half of the track. Top two still close together. He's gonna have a look. place looking quite good. That one, I like the other white and blue one.
Prizing the lead from the hands of things like you. They're tearing off a bit now because third and fourth, Jordan Kane with surprisingly he made a...
So the race leader's just gone out, and now that's the new race leader. His wing's damaged. What had actually happened was that second place man in the field had taken out the race leader down at Redgate Turn 1. And there, coming at the top there, is the race winner. Checker flag. So he'll be under investigation for that one then, so he might not even be the winner. Oh, he is. Time penalty.
So for the third time this year, Jordan Kane wins the reverse grid race.
Oh, so penalty given immediately and Jordan King wins. Jason King, whatever his name. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, we're on a very big hill. That doesn't give it justice, does it? It just looks like it's a grassy bank.
No, well you can... I'll go first if you want, and then you can just...
No, I can do. Very hilly. And it's wet grass as well. Oh, here comes the other ones.
No, I'm just watching you.
Oh, I'm fine.
Just also watching...
There's Maud. Let's go. And we're through. Nearly onto the tyre barrier. Oh, that's a tyre barrier. That's not much. I wouldn't be safe crashing in that. Oh, he hasn't got one. Oh, they're on the shakedown now. Oh, hang on. Marshall's out waving the flag. Yeah. Should we head back into the paddock? We might get someone. So we are in the paddock, yeah? And there's some of the Formula 3 cars.
What are they?
They're Formula 3. Foot wings over there. Let's get a closer look at the Formula 3. They're their spare cars, I would reckon. They were indeed the spare cars. The number 25 was currently lying in the gravel trap. And the other one, number 31. Hill Speed Cliff Dempsey Racing. I've heard Cliff Dempsey before. So in the paddock, but not just any paddock, we're in big boys. Ah, these are the better ones. The V-Class engines as well. These are quite good. Pirelli rubber on one of them. Well, we've got another one coming through. Revving the car up. Got Billy Whiz on the car. That's a Billy Monger. You had an accident here. Just try and stay in shot. Take glasses off, obviously, so it's the pit lane walk about. I did that, actually. That makes better more sense. Hello. Got Janetta coming through in the background. See if I can get it in without obstructing shot. There it is. Tyres going through. Everything in. Oh, the camera's now dropped around. What do you make of it?
It's quite exciting, really, isn't it?
I know! We're going to have a shufty round the paddock. We've got loads of Janettas though coming through, so let's have a look round. There's the paddock. I'll shut that down again. It's a massive paddock, that's one thing I never realised. Race on another Janetta. They must be going to pit lane to the paddock again that we were earlier for their second race. And there's another one. Third way. That X on the back means novice. So the X on the back means novice, so that's his first race. There's a car in pits. That hasn't had a great start. Pit lane all the way down there, paddock, Volkswagen Grop. So that's a... Well, see, it looks like it's actually been in the gravel, that car, doesn't it? With the tyres. Yeah, look at the tyres in the front there. And the engine, it's all walking through. Quite good. We've got another car coming down. Rosie on down. The Rim Racing team as well. Yeah, let's have a lefty in there with a race winner, it looks like, as well. Number 23, got a couple on the top of there this time. Winner's trophy on the top.
So what are these then?
Very fast single-seater, but they're like a Le Mans car. You know, they're open to the LMP2 junior category. They're very good. Can't remember the name of them. Can't remember the name, which is annoying, so I have to look at the bill. But they're very quick in a straight line, and they're difficult to brake, and they understeer a lot of that. I can't remember the name of them, which is really good. Driver in the background, eating and like that. And playing. Of course, we're next to East Midlands Airport, so there's a lot there. There's another one. In full of all its glory. Pit lane. We had to see one of the GT cars, which is annoying. Moving on down. They're out on the track now, actually.
Yes.
Here's another one.
Oh, this is the winner.
Here's the winner. It's not on the way. It smells, doesn't it, of lemon fresh. There it is. There's the winning car. That must be the Constructors' Champions as well, with that rose in the back. There it is, the GT Supercar Challenge. So, the Kenziano going through. There's another one of the minis down there. So they're getting ready to go home. Yeah, I'm going to go and have a mosey in as well, at the front of the car. There's the steering wheel. Can't see it on my camera. I think, driver's seat, single-seater. Moseying in. It's quite an interesting experience, actually. Looking at that way around.
Right, we've been down that way, we'll go down this way.
Back up there.
This car.
We've got another one going through. Oops. I've lost him there. One of the drivers just saying you should disqualify him over there. The mini cars, the mini challenge. I've yet to go out on the track actually. Another Ginetta. Oh, my time. So their race must be next. Power Digital. Another mini at the top of its game. That's all ready to go. Another TV crew in my way. Back here. Don't want to get in their shots. That's going to be quite interesting. I'm going to hijack their interview. I'm going to stay here for a sec. Staying down the camera. Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh, car. Are you ready? So the mini. Oh, there's a Porsche. Car's firing up. Brad Hutchinson. He was in Genettas a few years ago. Mini challenge now in the gang. Pit lane walkabout's actually quite fun. Actually, the paddock walkabout. Another mini there. Oh, that looks like a attacking mini, doesn't it? At the moment. Mini challenge. Nothing going on. There's more minis on my other side of the car that I missed. Another one. And someone's actually using a mini as their championship car. That's the winner of the race actually, Alex Quinn, who won the first race after time penalty. The minis. What's going on there?
What are the big?
So we're underneath the tunnel.
Yes.
Oops, and a lot of leaves. Just met Martin Haven and talked to him a lot. He's just a Formula E and World Touring car with Matt Neal as well. I should have asked him Matt Neal. That would have been more relevant, Matt Neal, because he works with them a lot more.
What's he have to say then? I heard you were talking to him about somebody nicking.
Yes, it was Dario always, whenever Dario's in the commentary box with Jack, he always cuts him off. So I was asking him, does Dario cut you off? Because there's 3 of them in there now. But no, apparently he doesn't. Martin cuts the Dario off. It's quite steep this hill actually, downhill we're going, this way focus. And then we'll come out just on the other side. We're under the track actually.
Yeah.
You don't realise that this is what is under the track. And we'll come on inside. So there is the podium. National anthem. Should have. I'll be over here. And that podium was indeed for the previous race, which was the Volkswagen. And there's we just met Martin Haven, as I said. Lovely chap. does the commentary here. He'll be in the commentary box later. Talk to him about the broadcasting and all that lot, and what's it like with Dario in the box. Cuts it off, it's always lovely. There's, it should be champagne time in a moment. Just trophies together, their national anthem. Yeah, Martin's here doing the commentary actually, so something to watch later on YouTube. He's on YouTube as well. Here's all the garages, look, just below. We'll have a pit lane walk at 11:50 as well at lunchtime, and we'll get some pit lane gossip, and then I'll introduce the feature and the show and all that lot from there. And, introduce the movie. It ought to be edited.
Right this minute. How weird.
Is it champagne time or is it going to be the national anthems? Can't tell. Up there on the podium. And there, look, is the grid that are starting to form. They're quite... Oh no, they're not actually. Where we are is just actually on the grid starting. Yeah. They have a checkered flag here as well, actually, I just noticed. It's quite interesting. So they're going to start the race. They're going to start the race. They're going to get a better position, I think. So hold on.
You know, he's incredibly tough.
I know that man in commentary.
Played it safe for points.
Former GT driver.
He was on it. So
should we get the start of the race? It's the Ginettas, so the light gantry's up there, where the marshals are. And then they're lining up at the back. It's going to be a long start. 32 car grid, as far as I can remember. 2x2 staggered formation, so we've got some behind in rows as well. Down to turn 1 at Red Gate. Going to be a good one. So they're on the grid, as they're on the podium still. They'll wait for the lights and the grid to be formed. Hold on a sec. Let's get the start. Yeah, but it's great position for the light. Actually, I agree with you. I'm going to run.
So we'll hand you back to Ian for the next race.
It's about to start. Lights are on, I think. Got a door open. Yeah, they're not going to start the race yet, are they? Got a door open. There's the lights. 2x2 on the grid, as I said.
Let's go up here and
Get the fan experience directly at the start of a race. I'm going to watch the back half of the field, so that's going to be an interesting one to start. You first. Parade lap will begin the race.
Green flag lap. These cars not quite as powerful as the
Going up some steps.
so
they're...
This was the first Ginetta race of the day, and as you can see, we were primed and ready as we will sit directly opposite the start line with a fantastic view of the lights and, of course, those beautiful, glistening Ginettas.
Well, here's the utter fun experience. You see the lights. There's the back of the grid.
there you go, there's your water.
Oh, thank you.
I forgot to say, we needed water. It was so hot that day.
Those lights up there are going to go from red to red as well. And we'll be here for the start of the GT race as well later.
Up on the grid. So the cars were lining up 2x2 and the race was about to start. Lining up. The sun's right up there.
Revving the engine, 72.
Now when the lights came on, the drivers would have up to 3 seconds to rev the engines to the maximum RPM, and then as soon as they went off, take their foot off the clutch and just let the car go. But some of them cheekily rolling before the lights even went out.
5 seconds to the lights. Away.
Yeah, all got through. Oh, hello, they're side by side again now, look. This was the end of the first lap of the race. Oh, that's going to be so close. He's got, oh, no. Oh, yes, into. He's gone to the outside, defending the inside. Let's see, they've gone through the trees now. I'll be the first to say that watching from the start line here in Donington, there wasn't that much action to watch, but boy, when those cars go by, those engines are loud. Sadly, like everything does, the first Ginetta race of the day ended, but it was a brilliant victory from lights out to checkered flag for the pole man. Oh, that's it, very nice. He nearly didn't he? He slowed right down before he realised what was the second one. But I didn't even know that. But that's right, where that flag is. Oh, that's close, across the line. 7.867. And let's lights out for the next one. The next one being the V Series we saw back in the paddock earlier on in the day. We were down at the S's and the old hairpin for the start of the race.
Around the outside there, Josh Smith, who retired at a little moment in the course of yesterday's race. He retired from yesterday's race. Josh Smith, the reigning champion.
Don't slow down there. He slowed down at the wrong spot. Yeah, one of them just slowed down right at the wrong spot. That's not what you did at all. On the inside. Oh, Marshall's.
So he will be able to feature for.
I have to change my memory cards.
How's the game for?
The lead.
Probably taking a couple of hundreds.
So the
well,
cars
the thing is,
on this first lap.
You can take.
Yeah. I think we ended up taking about 800 photos between us. See old hairpin?
So the leading cars coming out of. What have we got? We don't have a bunch.
These cars sound a lot like the 1980s Formula 1 turbocharged, and that's because they are. V4 turbos charged them. The old hairpin is one of the most tricky corners on the track. A quick right-hander before you fly up the hill. As per usual, being next to East Midlands Airport, there was about 17 planes that day flying above us.
Number 23 is 6.
Also in this race, you just saw it going out of shot was the prototype car for next year at Le Mans, racing in this series for the LMP3 next year. Hello. That's a on! And he's done it! Pit lane. Yes, after the race it was lunchtime, which means the pit lane walkabout. Presume you can't go over the yellow line.
No.
Head line, isn't it? So the garage, try and fight our way through to one of them.
Depends what you want to see.
Well, the championship lead down there is 55, so we can try and get there. It was a very, very, very crowded pit lane, but we did manage to spot a few of the drivers and, more importantly, a few of the cars as well. Try and find our way through. Where's the pit lane? Marshall's number 97. Marshall's going through. There's a lot of families here at Donington, and all of them getting their money's worth with this pit lane walkabout. Because of this. Ah, there we go. Track club. Genettas. Number 11. Try and get a look at the pit stop guns. Oh look, they're going to refuel the cars. Not an endurance race. Drivers are here for autographs as well. All the way down here.
Have you got a pen on you?
No, I didn't.
We've got Martin's.
Martin Haven, yeah. All around us, oh, there they are. The cars. Let's try and have a look at one of them. Which one's which? Yeah. They're looking quite good here. This one. There's GT Championship. Little did I know that Sam Tordolf was just sitting there. There it is, Century Motorsport. Where's one of the cars? Ah, here we go. Cutting this way. Refueling hose. Tyre again. Sunoco fuel. Oh, there's on the drive. All the cars as well. Stand in front there. Don't want to lose anybody. Oops, sorry. Barging with you already like a pit lane mention. Martin Brando would be proud. As much as I love being at Donington, I was way out of my comfort zone. What would I say to a driver? Hello?
That's right.
Trying my best to find my way around and see somebody I know to talk to, and can't really find anyone. I felt so out of my depth. I'm a Formula 1 commentator. Yes, I've seen the British GT, but I don't know what the drivers look like. I've only seen them in the cars. Crash helmets, British GT. Luckily, I did see some drivers I knew, so I knew what to talk about slightly. Dunlop Tower, over there. Let's have one at Silverstone, Jensen Bunnington show over there. More of the cars. Also around there was Warren Scott, who's the owner of the Subaru team in the British touring cars.
How many more garages?
This is what it's going to be like come on touring car days. It's all so hectic. Short pit lane walk. Try and get some of the teams involved. I think ideally more down to the rear of the pit lane. Sort of going to be a lot easier to get two people. I'm not exaggerating. The pit lane was so crowded, it was like the Monaco Star Grid. You turn left or you turn right, and you're bound to bump into someone. It's like access all area in the pit lane. There's the start line from Gantry, the checkered flag point. Ah, here's one of the GT cars. That actually looks like a GT Block Fan Championship. There it is. Shall we can't go and come and poke around first? Get out of the way of one of them. Little did I know that if I only looked to my right, I would have seen and met Gary Paffett. Another McLaren just next door. Try and get involved. I'm trying to look around for people I know and speak to. But don't really have anybody at the moment, bad drivers. Team drivers. course, the constructor's already been decided. Sorry for the rock. Ah, here we go. Here's the better situation. See the pit lane. Lana race. There's the car.
Yeah, watch later on in the video. See what happens to that car.
Better racing. Team Parker. We're really at the end of the garage now, aren't we? There's the boards, but safety car, checker flag and everything. Reds there. That's what's brilliant about the pit lane. Have a look. Where?
The helmet the kids wearing is made out of the...
The helmet was actually made out of paper.
You take glasses off in pit lane, actually. You never find someone you want to talk to.
By the time we got to the end of the pit lane, it was crowded. The marshals are telling us to actually go back.
It's like a Martin's grid walk if you want to go where, when and how. Ideally, we need to find the one with the championship contender. And I think we found the garage with the championship contender for the Aston. There's the Bentley.
We had indeed. Bentley were the championship rivals of Team Parker Racing. And their garage was absolutely packed.
Oh look, these are fuel hoses. 8,000 gallons of fuel will be pumped through those later on. And those are the guns. Don't use them correctly, they can really get on the way.
People rather than general.
Up there on the grandstand. There's the commentary box there, race control. Race control, they sort everything out. I like the looking at this where they check and flag the race and everything in there. Fishers and the races up. There's no actual track action at the moment, is there, at the moment? Don't think we can go too far there. Not too sure there. I presume we can. Pit lane walk. TV crews over there. The back over there. Yeah, pit lane. Yeah. Let's look back in actually with pit lane. Let's try and get some. Have a look at some of them. Actually, I think we're at Team 1 in the championship and Garage 2. Got the historics out there.
Just some cars going on.
Yeah.
Driving their own cars.
Uncle Stephen was right.
Oh yeah.
Is that Bugatti?
Yes, it is, isn't it?
The noise in the pit lane was so loud on these cars, you couldn't hear what we were saying.
Those are the cars we saw back in the pit paddock. That was the Bugatti. As I said, the Lotus. I wouldn't be rude and sort of go in. So I'm going to. Yep. I think Vern's in this one. Oh, there's another plane, look above. Pit lane.
These planes are everywhere.
Yeah, so one down the pit lane. I did try and find someone you can know so you can speak to. That's the thing I've been trying to do. I don't think we're in on it much. I think that is pretty much all we're going to get.
Some are obviously more popular than others.
Yes, I think that's the team's champions. What are you over here? Going to break the rules and go on the other side of the white line. Yellow line should be. Lana racing. And a pit lane walk. They'll probably be at Logan as a different thing. There's the garage with the McLarens. British GT. We're actually not supposed to go over the yellow line, but everyone's gone over the yellow line. I think they've realised.
I think it's just to come this way though.
Yeah. Everyone's diving back in. I'm actually looking around to see if there's anybody who I would know. Ideally, John Watson. I can't find him either. Cars coming down the pit lane as well. McLaren fans. Fingers.
Actually working on the car in there.
Team Ultra Racing as well. It's a shame you can't go on the pit wall either and get those things as they blow out there. Auto insurance. Yes. I have to find out where to go. Oops. Wait. I mean the way actual media. Don't like that. Ideally, finding out who's the championship leader would be a handy thing. I can't remember. Oops, and actually pointing it where it should go. Oh, there's the pit boards. On the lights, there's the gantry.
No. She's going
That's how we start the race one. Oops. So there's a lot of things in the pit lane. Just having a look round. Trying to get out as well. To go back through and then through the other way. Bob Bell. Carry on there as well. Ice kids.
What you can't actually hear is the marshals telling us to go the other way. Back down the pit lane we went.
So it's back up the way we came again. Oh, this, yeah.
Just like to point out the pit lane was already exhausted twice.
Yeah. Let's try and get as far into all the cars as we can. Yeah, let's cut it now. There we go.
Display area, which is located close to the Bentley.
My inner Martin Brundle took over as I went to get closer to the drivers.
Drivers as well.
Unfortunately, they were just getting ready for the GT race.
They're all getting ready for the GT race later. Watches? Guns again. They can break your wrist if you're not careful with them. Those ones. Drivers all out there.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed.
And this is I know. Christensen. Yeah. Yeah. Pit lane ready. What time's the race start? The second one I've got. Something, yeah. Got my phone. Oh, yeah. Hold it that way, the team reverter. Anyways, we'll cut out and cut back into the main action. What an action-packed pit lane. Yeah, pit lane as well. 1:30. But there's the mini challenge at 12:35.
Okay, well it's quarter past 12.
So we've got an hour to thing before the start of the main race. An hour and a half actually before the start of the main race. There's the Eurotech team. Actually, the Eurotech are in the British Touring Cars as well. What's going on there? I wonder if Martin's working with John. Fortunately, you can't get back through the pit lane either. Through the back of the paddock. I'm going to put my glasses back on. Is at this point I could do with Martin Haven. He's really tall. As you saw, and he would just be able to find a way out of the pit lane. So it's back up there to where we were before. So we've walked the pit lane twice.
Yes,
Oops. More than before. Yellows. If it's needed. Actually, they're just sticks with tape on them. Those cable.
yeah.
There's the champions from last year in the garage one, so it goes. Another yellow flag. Actually, there's a great opportunity to get a look at the flags.
Opportunity to nick the checkered one.
Both of them. There's two actually. More must be for the GT. Actually, hang on. Let's. A nice shot.
Yes, but it was lunchtime, so we decided to head out of the pit lane and went for lunch, which was a packet of lovely biscuits.
Pit lane. Now. There's sound of Jonathan Palmer though, which is quite unusual. There's the family pit lane. There's the track. Just over there. And leaving the pit lane. We're in one of the minis, and one of the number 67 has just stopped. And they're going to have to put the safety car. It's on fire, look at it. He's 87 or 67, it's 87. I'll have to deploy the safety car, I can't get it out of there. Race leader. Hang on a minute, one of the cars overtook into double yellows, he'll be out of it. So after lunch it was the main race time, and as the cars left the pit lane to head to the grid, we positioned ourselves on the outside of red gate at turn 1 for the start of the race. Going through was the pole man. Starting now was the formation lap, where the field would warm their tyres ready for the start. Yeah, this is it, the way they go for the parade lap. Go. So with tyres warm, the field of over 40 cars came to the start line, and it was a rolling start that would decide. 2 hours of running, an hour each for each driver. Traditionally they put their slower driver in first, have the faster driver in at the end, and over the 2 hours we would walk around the track getting the best possible view at this beautiful Donington circuit. But as they came out of the final corner and back onto the start-finish straight, the safety car will come into the pit lane, the lights will go on at the start gantry, and when they went out, 2 hours began, the final race of the British GT Championship for 2017. The title will be decided as they head round the final corner now. Here it comes. Here they come. Guys, come in. Lights are on. Away. Round the outside. So, as yet another plane went off, the 2 hours began, and it was a brilliant start to the race with no one crashing out on the opening lap. But boy, was that about to change. As the field came round for the start of the second lap, by the time we got to the third, a car went off directly in front of me. And trust me, it was a big one. Good thing was no lead changes on the opening lap. Also, for the race, I'd switched to the GoPro camera to get as much possible footage of the race. Getting a bit close, no lead changes on the opening lap, which was the good news. Let's go on to the next one. We've got an off big time into the gravel trap at turn 1. And as you can see, he spun on the grass, lost it into the back of the gravel, and the car sort of moved towards me. As you can see on the world feed, me and Uncle Stephen are right there.
Double yellows are out, or safety car.
They didn't need a safety car. Amazing work by the marshals to clear the car just under double yellow.
We've got another. We've got a Richard Tamadu off now at the back of this. Oh, no, there. No safety car. Oh no, oh no! You're going to get muck on the tyres. No, they're going to get muck on the tyres. They're going to get everything everywhere. Double yellow, so no one can overtake down to turn 1, but I'm surprised they haven't put a safety car out at the moment.
Apologies for the audio, it is a GoPro camera. But yeah, surprised I was that they didn't put out a safety car.
Where is the safety car? There's a...
Also, the truck came right on, you can see it there, the big green thing. Unbelievable!
So, Marshall's going to cover the track. We've got grass on the track. Double wave jellos are out. And a plane above us.
For about the 20th time today.
But the game over. It hit right in front of me. Yeah, he hasn't got out of the car. Oh, well, it's GT, so maybe he thinks that they can get out of it. Oh, look at that.
Actually, in the GT, you are not allowed to get out of the car unless you are in a safe position. He was not, so he stayed in the car until the marshals pulled him off, so he could be in a safe position to get out of the car. Also, we decided to leave Redgate and head around the track. Next up were the S's.
So there's Puncher down, double yellows up there, safety car's going out, I think. Lap 3. Marshall's going to be talking.
So this is the run down towards the S's, and believe it or not, trouble seemed to follow us. Yet another car went off directly in front of us. Take a look.
Oh, the two Lambos are side by side. Still the same race leader, about 10 minutes in.
So yes, it was the same race leader 10 minutes in, but we moved up to the top of another steep hill to where all these fans were. They didn't need seats, they had the grass, old school style. At this point, I was back on the phone to my dad. Safe to say, I could barely hear him.
Got another off!
Honestly, this race has started to remind me of Belgium 1998. We're not even 10 minutes and we've had two cars go off, both right in front of me.
His wheel looks quite straight.
Little did I know that he'd lost it on the piece of the grass coming out of the hairpin, skidded into the wall, and out of the race. But the fans were loving it. Sat eating their biscuits and barbecue sauce already. They were having the time of their lives. And to be honest, so was I.
Yeah. Go take a quick look.
I decided to go full Ted Kravitz and go straight into the heart of the action. I headed down, looking down who was out of the race.
Oh, he's out of the race already. He's only 10 minutes in and he had 2 retirements.
This is a GT race, isn't it? I remember what Maury Walker used to say. So 2 retirements already. Yeah. So 2 retirements already, not even 10 minutes in. Murray said that here at Donington as well. Oh, security cameras. Up there. Yeah, there are double yellows, I can hear people saying. There are double yellows, I can see it directly there, you can probably can. Yet again, the marshals are doing a brilliant job as they helped retrieve the car without the need of a safety car. The marshals here, what would we do without them? I've said it before and I'll say it again. Without them, racing is not possible. And keeping us all safe, not to mention the drivers, by putting their own lives at risk. They are heroes. Still, if I could wave one of those flags, it would be brilliant. I absolutely love flags. I own 2 checkered flags. Both of them still in use. It's a yellow flag, only a single one now there. Lots of golf buggies here this weekend. It's a quick and easy way to get around the track, but I prefer the walk. There's one person who's out of the race and in the final round as well. That's not good at all. But season high and return next year. I second those words, but I love how he came to see the fans. True pro. Signing autographs as well. Brilliant. And now we'll head back on that buggy and head back to the pit lane and come back in 2018 stronger and wiser. So still at the S's, but with a lot of cars going by. The noise is unbelievable. Also, the GoPro is higher than ever. There's the car that's out of the race. I'm not a giant, by the way. Selfie stick. Look, that kid saw. This is the view looking at the old hairpin, and yet again it's a brilliant photo opportunity, but it's another very big hill. The GoPro really doesn't do it justice. It is massive. On the other side of that, there's a ditch. So much had happened already in just half an hour, and this was a brilliant overtaking spot coming into the old hairpin. So we took our position, as you can see, got ready, and did a lot of speed photography. But here's an experience you'll never forget. A car going full throttle through the old hairpin. The noise was unbelievable. What was even more unbelievable was that shot we managed to get. A photographer showed me exactly where to stand and we got the best possible shot. Not even the TV crews got that shot. And then as we look around, the cars just entering, we're about 45 minutes into this 2-hour race and we're only at turn 4 and we were doing the entire track in 2 hours. For about 5 minutes, we sat on some mesh with rocks in. It was uncomfortable, but it's one of the unique ways of watching Donington at the old hairpin. It was unique. However, just one bit of fabric cushion wouldn't have hurt. Now, as you can see here, I've been a bit sneaky. I've put the GoPro right up against the armcode barrier on the mesh, and I've got some of the brilliant shots of Donington. Right at the old hairpin. Shh, don't tell. We're at the highest possible point at Donington, right up the biggest hill to where an old bridge used to be, leading to the castle. This place is absolutely high, and I'll tell you what, when the planes go by, you can almost feel like you can reach up and touch them. But boy, what a place it was for the race. I'd also like to point out, that kid's fine, and that girl. They were both doing that all the time we were there. I promise, they really were. Oh look, it's a plane. That's a very rare sight. So, after about an hour of the race gone already, we sat down for about 20 minutes and looked on at the famous old hairpin as they racketed down through, screaming their engines. It was truly a sight to behold. If you're ever at Donington, come here. Look as the cars appear from nowhere. And boy, they're going at some speed. Although, in the next shot, if someone can tell me where that quad bike came from, I'll be extremely happy. Now, this is the moment that a plane went right above us. And honestly, reach out your hand and touch it. I absolutely promise you. But, Lady Luck, a different idea. For the third time today, drama!
Oh, puncher! Off!
One of the Porsches had a puncture at the old hairpin, and full Ted Kravitz, I ran down to have a look what happened. The Porsche had stopped just outside of the bridge castle, right where I was. The driver, only having 3 wheels on his wagon, spun the car in and stopped it right in front of me. Now it's rule 1. If a driver is out of the race due to something that wasn't his fault, and he still is in the car and still keeps his crash helmet on, do not go and talk to him. Rule 1. Stay away. I've learnt that. But there's no rule in getting a little bit closer. So that's 3 retirements within 1 hour. But we were going to walk down there, but the gate was locked. So 3 of his friends came, told him we'll lock the gate, but he's very angry. Climbing it won't help. Back to the car, put the steering wheel back on, shut the door, and then go. Third time's a charm. And he's through! It's on the back of every ticket and it's at the racetrack. The most famous words. Warning, motorsport can be dangerous. This is at the top of the hill at McLean's. What a brilliant place to watch the cars fly by! There was indeed a wrecked car, right there, 3 of them, and they weren't even racing.
was 5.1. Step down.
Now we are at McLean's at the top of the hill and just after the turn. The cars going by as Uncle Stephen continued to get the best shots in the house. Oh look, I'm being sneaky again. Shh, don't tell. I do this 3 times and no one ever notices. Truly is the best experience at this place. But unfortunately, no cars. Hang on a minute. And there at the top of your picture was the change for the lead of the race. At this point, an hour and 15 into the race, traffic was becoming an issue, even after the pit stops. But with blue flags in operation, drivers were quick to clear. But, as we rounded the next corner, we saw something that we didn't know was there. We found a broken car. A broken car indeed. It was number 51. It was only seen in the pit lane earlier on in the day. Absolutely smashed. But, no driver there. And he left the window open. Time for some snooping. Alex Reed was driving.
Oh, he was in the pit lane earlier.
Also, I'd been saying I wanted to get some gravel from Donington. Luckily, on the front of the thing, there was loads. So I got myself a handful, put it in my bag, and as I speak, it's right next to me, here on my desk. Oh look, let's go inside. This is what the drivers see during a race in all their dashboards as well. A brilliant experience, and thank you very much, Alex Reed, for leaving your window open and allowing us to look inside your race car. Thank you. And this is me being sneaky for the 3rd and final time. I put my GoPro right in the base of the Armco barrier that opened up to the track and watched as the cars head down the back straight towards the Melbourne hairpin. There's also a lot of gravel on the excess here, but also it's a brilliant view. Let's take another look. This isn't me being sneaky, this is just a massive great big fence. And the 4th retirement.
For the 66th time.
The reason you're about to see me lose my feet is I stepped on stone and lost my balance. We're at the S's now, and we're about 10 minutes before the end of the race, and this place is brilliant. There's the ambulance at the side, ready to deploy if any driver gets injured. Hopefully, that's never ever needed. We're at the exit of the S's now, similar to where we were this morning for the British Formula 3s. But this is still an excellent place.
That second place man in the Lamborghini out.
Yes, and the Lamborghini number 2 had got a puncture, and we saw him in a minute. He will come back in wobbling with 3 wheels. Here he comes. The front left had been completely taken off the rim. And we're back once more at the hairpin, and the race leader just going by as well. Sadly, you're not allowed, due to the fact it's an entrance to the pit lane, to get to the actual final corner. So this is as far as you're allowed to go. We've walked around the entire Donington with exactly 2 hours to go, and now I'll leave you with what we were talking about over the last 2 hours.
On to his last lap. Second and third. John Barnes has done enough, although Phil Keen's got the gap down a little bit more, 1.44 seconds now. But unless they trip over a back marker, I don't think there's too many back markers ahead of them over the final lap. It looks as though it'll be an Aston 1-2 with the Lamborghini Phil Keen in third place.
Each time you say that Phil's another couple of hundreds closer and standing next to Mark Farmer and he's sort of sucking in through his teeth. Ooh. But he thinks John's got it all under control.
Well, yes, but he had, as I say, a few laps ago, he did the absolute best first sector, so John is having to drive as hard as he can to make sure that Phil doesn't get too close. Or too keen, even. So, Phil in third place. Seb Morris has gone through fourth onto his last lap. Sam Tordoff in the number 6 Lamborghini onto his last lap in fifth place. And the leader is at Melbourne for the final time. We've got a very slow white McLaren trickling up towards Goddard's. That's the number 14 car. It's one that's been troubled throughout the race. It's been going well when it's been going well, but anyway, park that one up for the moment because here comes Johnny Adams to take their second win of the year with Derek Johnson. Takes the checkered flag just behind the Porsche of Scott Malvern, which Johnny, knowing the way the rules work, backs off to allow Scott to carry on with this race. Second place goes to number 11. John Barnes, and Phil Keen gave it everything. The gap of the flag has gone up from 1.4 to 4.1. That's not a true reflection of what the difference was between the two cars as they started the last lap. Well, that was Phil backing off. Whether he did have a moment somewhere, I don't know. But anyway, he still finishes in third place. The gap doesn't truly reflect how small it was with only a lap to go. We've got 14 crabbing its way down the pit lane. Number 14's got over the line. Matty Graham at the wheel in the second part of the race. Now he's got a puncture. But certainly something seems to have gone amiss with the car as he very slowly fit the power in the car. Sort of wanted to go sideways. So the fourth place car, Seb Morris, has gone through finishing fourth. That gives him and Rick Parfitt the championship. Sam Tordoff finishes fifth in number 6. Lamborghini 6, away to lap down Ben Green in the Nissan. Number 7 a lap down Callum McLeod in the other Bentley. And 501 Mike Robinson has taken the flag, wins for the first time with the McLaren. But of course the outgoing champions from last year when they had a Ginetta. And there is a very happy, I would imagine, Mike Simpson as he's finished in second place in the Pro-Am part of GT4 and third place for Ginetta. Or was it fourth? It's fourth, I'm sorry. Fourth place in GT4. Mike Robinson, Stuart Middleton second. And third goes to number 43, Niall Murray, in the car that he shared with the Danish driver, Jacob Mathiasen. And in the two divisions of GT4, the Pro-Am division won by the number 501 McLaren, Mike Robinson, Graham Johnson. Second in that was the number 111 Mike Simpson, and a Walewska car, and third the Porsche number 66 of Scott Malvern and Nick Jones in the silver GT4 category. The win goes to the champions for the season anyway, the Stuart Middleton Will Dragertha Ginetta number 55, and second the number 43 car of Niall Murray and Jacob
So in the paddock, Formula 3 is about to start. I'll talk over it later. Yes, indeed, the Formula 3 was about to start, but we weren't in a rush because we were on our way to the podium to watch the British GT take their trophies. But it was a rush, but as we walked back through the paddock, we had knowledge that we had 10 minutes to wait while the top three were getting ready and coming to the podium. We also learned that the Formula 3 was put after the race of the Ginetta and the Minis, so we had 2 more races before the Formula 3. We've got 1 more race, the Formula 3s. Look, the technical tent's down. We're getting ready. I want to double check in case we change the race. We're all packing up now. Oh yeah, podium. We're going over to the podium as well at the same time. Paddock. Oh wow, look at that look. You're right there. What time is it now?
20 to 4.
5 minutes time, the Protosport, we've got Ginetta, Mini, and then the Formula 3 is on until 5:05. Yeah. Through the tunnel. So we managed to get up to the podium to watch the top 3 literally running up flights of stairs. And it was the race winner who became the champions as well.
We also have the Donington Gentleman's Trophy winner, and that for this race goes to Derek Johnson.
I just got it.
Very important award. Derek Johnson here on that, on
And as ever in any race, it's champagne time. Some of them weren't ready for that, and some of them couldn't get the ball undone. There we go. What brilliant scenes! The end of the British GT after a long season. That's not the end of the racing. We've still got a few races to go here today. Indeed we did, and the next up was the Ginettas, where we had a girl on pole position, which is absolutely fantastic. She absolutely blitzed the field in qualifying, and she blitzed the field again during the race. An absolutely dominant performance, proving that girls are just as good as boys when it comes to motor racing. A different perspective for the start of the race then. We'll be focusing on the top 2. When the lights go on, they'll have up to 3 seconds once more, like in the first race this morning. But let's watch. The engine notes will rise and the lights will go out quite quickly, up to 3 second pause for the final Ginetta race of 2017. At the end of the first lap, it was a dominant race because there was so much overtaking. But It was also interesting that this was a 20-minute race, and you can see the 3 people in front of us, they had a driver in the race, and they became very valuable at the end when we didn't know exactly what was happening. Red flag's out. Indeed it was. The red flag came out and stopped the race with 30 seconds to go.
That's unfortunate.
What's happened around the track to stop the race?
So she loses her lead.
No, she's kept it, she's won. They count back, she left and said she's won it, but they won't restart. I thought it dangerous that they'd all lined up at the end of the pit lane. What we didn't know was there was a crash at the other half of the circuit, which you can see now. Stop the race. And this was my point exactly. A TV monitor at the opposite half of the grandstand would have been very handy for us to know exactly what had happened. Yeah, but now they've got clear Giannetta's out, so why stop the race so quick? Someone...
Getting them off the track.
Yeah. That's really odd. I've never seen that before. The 3 lovely ladies in front of us and told us that the 2 cars had taken each other off at the back half of the circuit with only 30 seconds remaining. Race director decided to throw out the red flag. So we moved on to the next race, which was the Mini, with Brett Smith on pole position. Finally, someone I knew, Brett Smith, in the British Touring Cars, who replaced his father Jeff. Yes, in the British Touring Cars, finally someone I knew. But also, Brett Smith was going after the British Mini Cup here today. Could he be the champion when the lights went out? And can he hold on to what has been so far quite a dominant weekend for him? It's time to find out. Yeah, and Brett Smith also part of the British Touring Car main championship, racing in his father's step of place of after Jeff Smith was injured back at Croft at the halfway stage of the season. 30 seconds to the green flag. Seconds to the green flag. And the green flag was waved and the drivers left their grid one by one, leaving rubber marks in order to get up on their start. There's the Giannetta. Now, I've been to Duxford, but I've never seen so many planes go above my head in my entire life. I've even been to an air show. Drivers, though, are coming back onto the grid one by one. There's Brett Smith. As I said, could he be the champion? He's only got next week, and he's back at Brands. Usual procedure, they'll rise up, and when the lights go out, the race is underway. 20 minutes! Away! It's Brett Smith in the lead at the moment. Now the safety car's got to get out of the way. One of the minis is actually stalled at the back of the grid, and that's not a safety car.
So at the end of the first lap, it was Brett Smith leading, keeping his cool as the cars screamed by us to start their second lap. And as they came across the line to start their penultimate lap, sadly, the GoPro died and I had to swap the battery. But it was Brett Smith who crossed the line the next lap and took a brilliantly dominant victory to become the 2017 Mini Cup champion. He'll go next week into Brands as a champion. But what a race from the young Brett Smith. Jeff is definitely proud. So back through this part of the paddock for the final time as we took our positions for Formula 3.
It's all changed. The car coming right down through us, actually. A lot of damage on the side, isn't it? It's a lot of damage on the side of the car. Very suits hanging. Fireproof undies. Next year. These lot done. Saw the Volkswagens out there, the Golfs, and I never saw them on the track. Jeanette looking for Woolworth for wherever there. Car coming through. I'm actually going to wonder if we bump into Martin Haven again. He's not doing it anymore, is he? He's just finished his race. They bought the car that we were looking at in the track back. What did they have? Looks like they've raced. I hope they've raced. Tyres. That was all pit and paddock earlier, and it's all gone now. Yeah, well, there's the race cars are just left for wear. They'll be filed now at the end of them. End of shelf life for these. Got a car coming on the back side of it. The other one on the track wasn't. That's one of the GT ones. It's taking 3 minutes to walk through the paddock. Oh, it smells sweet now. It's a mixture of that and the ice cream van. Oh, they've just finished, I think. And back up to turn one at the end of the paddock.
So
we've seen so many standing starts, but being an open-wheeled commentator, I hadn't seen an open-wheel start. So we headed back out to where we were at the start of the British GT, back down to Turn 1 at Redgate to watch the start of the final race of 2017 for the British Formula 3. Sadly, we didn't stay for the end, but we did know exactly what happened. But here's the start. Ready? That's it from Donington. I mean, the Formula 3s are just going on right now. But yeah, in a lovely paddock area. I must say, as a birthday present, it's been absolutely fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. It's great for me also to have the fan experience instead of the commentator experience. Oh, I've got people on. Instead of the commentator experience that I usually get, of just putting on a headset and talking left, right and centre. But as I'm actually on this behind where all the trucks are packing up, it's been fantastic. Recommended to anyone, especially the British GT. It's been absolutely fantastic. So we're on our way back home now, and then I'll edit it, and when you see it, it'll be the full thing. But it's been an absolutely brilliant day. Thank you to my auntie and uncle for this amazing birthday present for me 18th. It's been absolutely brilliant. And then that's it for the British GT and the BRDC Formula 3. The next time they'll be on will be in 2018. But I've got loads to do still, but lovely fan experience, especially the next race at Donington I do. It's going to give me a lot more insight for saying, oh, it's difficult here, difficult there.